About the entire situation, you're absolutely right. People are looking at this as a matter of politics, and on some level it is. But what is very interesting is the fact that he is direct competition for them in the business that they're operating in. And so when they write these articles about him, it's literally people who work for the companies that he's competing with talking about how horrible he is. Well, of course they're going to say that. Yeah. And what the media always does, and what the left always does, is as soon as they start losing, they immediately portray themselves as martyrs and victims. But the narrative falls apart with Rogan because he's one guy who people really want to listen to. And they make it seem like he's this reckless and irresponsible man who's bullying them.
Hey, but isn't it crazy how they really ramped up the attacks on Joe Rogan?
Yes.
Like, I was just reading a story, like some attorney general was saying Joe Rogan should be censored. Who was that?
He's like their Trump now.
Yeah. Some attorney general was like,
yeah, it's Biden's attorney general.
It was Biden's?
Yeah,
wow.
Should be censored.
Well, the Surgeon General came out and said something about disinformation online. I don't know if he said specifically about Rogan.
Yeah, not the attorney general.
Yeah. Oh, Surgeon General.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests. Go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.
And you're still getting late.
It's crazy.
You are?
3,
Yeah.
2, 1. We're live. Gotta change subjects.
Okay.
Gotta abandon all that crazy talk.
I thought it was good talk.
It was. It
Yeah.
was definitely good talk. First of all, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
You look great.
You do too. I haven't seen you since King Queens. It's been a long time. And I found out about the whole Scientology. I knew you were into it back then, but it was one of those things where I'd heard about it,
Yeah.
and then I met you, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty fucking normal.
For Scientology, right.
Well, I met
A lot
John
of people-
Travolta once too, and I said the same thing. Like, it's pretty normal.
Nice guy.
Kelly Preston's pretty normal.
Yeah.
She's normal.
Yes.
It's, I guess you get deeper, get to know them really well, and it might get a little weird. But
Yes. Yeah, because the thing is, Scientologists are good people. They really are. They really, as I did, believed that we were doing amazing things for the world. So they go into it thinking, I'm helping myself and I'm helping others.
Right.
But then as you, like you said, as you get more and more, and by the way, you don't really get close to Scientologists when you're Scientologist.
When you're not
So when you're
Scientologist,
non-Scientologist, correct. Like everything that I did and they do is for the purpose of setting a good example, being a good person, being a good friend, so to get you in. There's a purpose in that. Like I would never tell when I was in a non-Scientologist my real problem. It would be kind of bad for the church to ever appear human to a non-Scientologist. It would be setting a bad example. Like it would actually be considered like a transgression. If I told you, Joe, oh yeah, I'm fighting with my mother, or fighting with my husband, or I would never tell you those types of things because it would be bad PR for the church.
Wow. So that's something that you're taught.
Correct.
Now you kind of grew up in it.
Yes.
How old were you when you?
9, I think. When my
So
mother
you don't even
married.
remember pre-Scientology.
A little bit. And what I remember pre-Scientology was, I had a very Catholic Sicilian father who, believed in punishment, believed in not talk, like, did I talk to you? I don't know why you're talking to me, like that kind of guy, right? Like my dad sits at the head of the table and then we don't talk back at all, or, so that is kind of what I knew. And then we were baptized as Catholics because my mother wasn't really religious. My mother was Jewish, but she didn't have any kind of religion growing up. My father, of course, was Catholic. So we got baptized as Catholics, and when someone really went to church, we were like grandmas, or to visit that, and in the city. And my dad on holidays. So that's really kind of all I remember pre-Scientology. And my mother meeting my stepdad, he was in Scientology, and he got her in as well as us
Like right away.
right away. Yes.
So that was like part of the deal.
Correct. Yeah, and by the way, Joe, like we went from like don't talk until you're spoken to hey, we see you as spiritual beings, we want you to talk to us, we want you to communicate, just not spirits in a little body. And so immediately that kind of you don't realize that, Joe, until you're out. You don't realize any of this was really going on because I've heard people call it a cult throughout my 30 plus years, and I was offended by it. I was just deeply offended by it. And I couldn't even allow myself to believe that I was in a cult. And so all these epiphanies are only happening, after the fact.
Well, I was watching a scholarly documentary once on Christianity, and they were referring to it as the cult of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And that word is the correct word if you want to just look at it in terms of the actual literal definition of it.
Yeah.
But it's automatically got this negative connotation. You
Yes.
say the word cult, and people think you're brainwashed, you're lost. But
right.
there's a natural inclination that people have to be tribal. There's a natural inclination people have to be on a team, and we like it when we're all together.
Yes.
I know you're a Scientologist, I'm a Scientologist, we're together in this thing. Everybody else doesn't get it.
Right.
And that's a good feeling, right?
Yeah, and you're taught that.
Yeah.
It's not even just that you think it, Joe. You are taught that you are the elite of the world. And by the way, you're going in every single day. It's not like I'm going Easter and I'm going Christmas. It's an everydayness.
So what did you do every day? Like when you say you went in every day?
So I go do King of Queens, and then after rehearsal, I drive to Hollywood and put in my 2.5 hours a day.
2.5 hours every day?
Yeah, every minimum, Joe. No, minimum. Okay, so then if I couldn't, like, let's say on a tape day, I couldn't. I was there from 9 in the morning to 10 at night, as you know. I'd have to make up the time on the weekends, or I'd have to make up time on my hiatus. So I'd be there all day and night.
So like, what if you went to Hawaii on vacation or something?
Very rare that Scientologists would go on vacation. I'd have to make up the time. I'd have to make up the time when I got back. I'd have to put in on weekends. Like, let's say if my schedule was, 12 to 2:30 to go in, then I'd have to go in 1 to 6 or 1 to 10 or 9 to 10. So there's an everydayness of this indoctrination. It's not only that, there's its policies, right? You're studying the policies all day and all night. You're looking up words you don't understand. You're being tested. Like after you read an L. Ron Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard's policy, you're tested. They go through and they go, what is the definition of this? What is the definition of that? So it's almost worse. We had a cult expert on, and he said it's worse. I thought it's worse because you actually brainwash yourself, because you have to study the policies of the church, and then you get tested on it, and you have to look up words you don't understand. You have to put them in sentences. You have to write essays. You have to do clay demonstrations. So you're really brainwashing yourself, and you're speaking all the same language. You're all working towards one goal, and And that is very intoxicating. Like it is to feel like you're to be tribal, to be part of something. Imagine being part of something that you think and are told and are reading every day is the most